Hello and welcome. So as part of the Homeschool Show and Tell collaboration hosted by Jessica at the Waldock Way and Abby in Rooted from Rest, I am sharing about books today. So the theme is share your favorite books or books that you're currently reading. And I thought I would do kind of a different spin on that. I want to do an unboxing and share a recent haul from kidsbooks.com, as well as give you a tour of some of our bookshelves and kind of how we keep up on the book storage, because as a homeschool family who just really cherishes story and books are part of our culture and our fabric of our lives, we are perpetually out of bookshelf space. In addition to that, I will be sharing current reads and all of that throughout the video. So enjoy. I'm going to do a quick unboxing from an order I got from kidsbooks.com. I also really love thrift books because I feel like it's better for the earth to not be getting new books, but to be getting books that are used. But Kids Books has really great prices and newer books that I don't necessarily have access to on thrift books, so I got a few. So I have Counting the Stars by Lisa Cline-Ransome, illustrated by Raul Colon, and Counting the Stars was $6.40. This is the story of Katherine Johnson. She was part of the Hidden Figures movie. I got Edison. It is $7.83. This is by Torben Kuhlmann. So he also made Armstrong, which is the adventurous journey of a mouse to the moon. And we loved it so much. And I don't actually have that one either. But Kids Books had this one, which is about the story of Edison. This is Chains. I've read her Fever, 1793, but I have not yet read Chains, and I'm excited to read it. It will work well with our history unit starting next year. Chains was $3.11. The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle. So Mason has a learning disability. My job is working in support of young adults with disabilities, and so when I saw this, I was very excited to get this to share with my kids. Mason Buttle was $3.11. Deep Water. I'll be honest, I don't know that much about this one. I purchased it because it got good reviews. It was chosen as a teacher's pick on Amazon, and it was $3.11. I got Clara Barton, so you can see illustrations, large text. I will save this for when it's appropriate in our history unit. This one was $2.23. The Castle Behind the Thorns. Again, this is not one that I knew a lot about, but it was $2.04, and it got decent reviews on Amazon. This is Rachel Carson, Women of Our Time. I may save it for our history unit. This one was $1.83. I have been seeing both of these on Instagram and everywhere, and they were both $6.70. I have Bold Women in Black History, and then I also have Exceptional Men in Black History. Okay. And then I have Malala, My Story of Standing Up for Girls' Rights. This is an abridged version of her memoir, which I don't typically like abridged versions, but I want to be able to include this in our schoolwork, and my kids are, I think, too young for the full version. So next I'd like to show you how I would shelve these books in our bookshelves, but first I wanted to share that my amazing husband builds our bookshelves, and he's actually currently building me more bookshelves, and so I just wanted to share a little bit of his beautiful handiwork here. So these two white shelves flanking our television cabinet are ones that he built a couple years ago, and these are the ones that I'm going to share in our bookshelf tour today. So this shelf on the left has our historical fiction novels. They are organized chronologically, and then the bottom shelf are just some for fun series that we want to have access to. The shelf on the right are just some for fun series like Harry Potter, Laura Ingalls Wilder, The Hobbit, Anne of Green Gables. This shelf right here are all of the ones that we've done as a read-alouds as a family, so we can track those. And then the bottom two shelves are easier readers for my youngest to be able to reach. So to shelve the kidsbook.com order, I look in the front to see if there's any date to indicate where it should go in the chronological ordering, or I will just go on Google and search the birth date or the time frame, just as I did for Clara Barton and also for Rachel Carson, to just see where they should be shelved. And for these fiction books, I just made sure that there was room for them on the shelves and then put them in somewhere where my oldest would be able to find them easily. So rather than going through our favorite books, which really there's just not enough time to go through, I figured I would share what we're currently reading as a family, what my kids are reading, and then I can share what I am reading. The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis is our family read aloud. We are going through the entire series and we listen to it on Audible at night during supper as a family. These two are the kids' next reads for school. This is Three Swords for Granada by Walter Dean Myers. The time period is the 1420s, right where we are. And when we study Spain, my youngest, who's 8, will read this. And shortly we will be getting to Gutenberg and the printing press. And so my oldest, who is 11, will read this. These are their fun reads that they read during quiet time in the afternoon or right before bed. My son finished the Magic Tree House series and he's now in the Merlin Missions series. And my daughter is going to read The Goose Girl. This is actually one of my favorite books. I know she wrote The Princess Academy and I've read it. The Goose Girl is my favorite. On their own, my daughter asked her brother if they could read this together. And so they each read a chapter at a time. And obviously my oldest is a lot faster of a reader, but she waits until her brother finishes his chapter and then they talk about it. And this was something that they did completely on their own. This is one of my daughter's favorite books ever. We have listened to this as a family for a read aloud. She has reread it multiple times and she wanted to reread it with her brother this time. For fun reading, I am reading through the prolific list of books that Elizabeth Goudge wrote. She's most well known for her Eliot's trilogy, The Bird in the Tree, Pilgrim's Inn, The Heart of the Family, those. And she's also known because J.K. Rowling has said that The Little White Horse, written by Elizabeth Goudge, is one of her favorite books and that it inspired her a lot. It is a fabulous book. But what I'm moving through next, I've actually read 9 of her books. So this is just next on my list. I'm basically getting them off of thrift books. I do like a vintage hardcover book, so if I can find it that way rather than paperback, then that's my preference. I like to start my mornings with nonfiction reads. So I'll read my Bible and any devotion that I'm doing, and then I supplement with a couple nonfictions. So the fiction books that I'm reading are the beloved works of C.S. Lewis, which are 4 in 1, and I'm also reading the Charlotte Mason Companion by Karen Andriola, and I'm reading The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Walben. As a side note, I love book darts for my nonfiction books. I just slip them on the page and then I can forever mark passages. What I have decided to do for these nonfiction books, I am reading 1 chapter a week in the hopes that I can finish this in a year. And so we're in the 8th week of the year, and so I am in chapter 8. This one I am also reading chapter 8 because I'm in the 8th week. Partially because if you just sit down and read through it, I feel like it doesn't soak in, and so I want to take the time to read the chapter, think about it, and do some of my own personal reflections and journaling, and then move on to the next chapter. I know that was a lot about books. It is a passion of mine to share about books, so hopefully you were inspired by some of this and maybe even have a good sense of some reviews so that you're able to order some books. I do have everything linked below if that's at all helpful, and until next time.